I'm going to be showing you how to disassemble and reassemble the PastaPro made by Farberware. This happens to be model 3015. The first thing that you do is you press this down and you lift the cover. The cover comes right off very easily. Then you can remove this. If it's on really tight, you can use the wrench. What you have to remember though is when you're putting it on, only put it on hand tight, which means you just turn it until it's tight like that. So you can turn that off. It turns off easily. If there's a plate in there, you can take that out. The shaft comes out easily. And then press down in here. There's a button that you press down. It's really long. You pull that out. And then this shaft comes out too. Inside here, there's the beaters. And at the very bottom, there's this plate. And if you notice, it says extrude on the top and mix on the bottom. So when it's mixing, you want the door to be shut. It might be hard to see in this light, but the door shut, none of the ingredients can go down. And when you have it on extrude, you open the window up so that the ingredients can go in there and be worked out through the plate to make the pasta. So this is, if you want to clean it, you can just press down lightly, it slides out. So there, it's pretty much disassembled. There's only one other thing. After you use the machine, there might be a little bit of pasta that gets behind this. You can just push it with your finger and it pops right out. To reassemble, you would start with this. You just drop it down in there like that. Then you're going to use this to push it in tight. Just give it a little pressure, not even much pressure, and it goes all the way down in there. Now I'm going to take that out because it'll just fall out when I'm putting it together. So you'll start with that. There's a slot that it goes in, and you gently insert it in the slot, and then you check. Right now where it's set, it says extrude, so that means it's open. And then when I put it down to mix, it's shut completely. So when I put it in, the gears are barely going to mesh on this little zigzag part that the gears mesh into. And then I'm going to just go ahead and I'll set it on mix, because that's usually the first thing to do is mix. Now this part, see, each end is a little different. This end has a small area, and then it's big and then small again. And actually that wasn't quite right. You're going to want to put this in first. So set the beaters down in there. Put the shaft in through there. Then I'm going to want to line it up with the hole on the other end. See, I put it in wrong because it didn't fit in there. So I'll just go ahead and turn it around. And that fits over the other end. So now you know the wrong way and the right way. Put it down all the way in. And so it holds the beaters and they turn easily. Then I set that back down in there. Slide it back. Get it all the way in. Next, the shaft goes in. On here, there's a couple of little grooves that you'll want to notice, and the grooves are for the plate. And the plate's going to fit down in there. And then I'm going to grab this, and this is the only tricky part. When you set it down, you want to take the first thread here and put it on the first thread there. And then you let the weight of this, I'm going to exaggerate the motion, you're going to let the weight of this kind of drop like that. So go ahead, set it back in there, And for some reason when you assemble this, the plate won't stay in there, but don't worry about that part yet. So set it on there, let it drop down on the bottom, and then when you turn it should go this easy, where it actually would spin all the way. So let me do that one more time. You set it here, kind of let the bottom drop in, and then start to turn. If it turns hard, the further you get, the harder it gets. Like this time it's turning a little hard, so I'm going to turn it back. I'm going to catch it again, and then this time it turns easy. Now right before I get all the way in, I'm going to take this plate and put it in where it's supposed to be, and you'll know it's in the right spot because I won't be able to spin it. So then I spin this tight the rest of the way, and see how it's nearly flush. There's a small indentation. Last thing you do is put the lid on, and the lid drops right down in there. So there it is, and when you're ready to go, you turn that on. Just a little troubleshooting. If it doesn't turn on, when you first turn it on, turn the power switch on, then there's something that's not in place. And what's important is this. I just pressed down on the button there to get it out. This should be fully locked in. See if you can pull it out like that. It's not going to turn on. So push on it. Get it in until it doesn't slide out easily. And put the lid on. I don't know. Yep, there's a safety feature. It won't turn on with the lids on. And I learned from experience, don't lift the lid when it's running because you'll have dough fly all over the place. So there it is.